And we are live on YouTube. Honorable mention to sports here. It's Josh Mancuso with my brother Caleb
Brother K.
Mancuso.
Hello.
What's up?
What's going on? See, you're all decked out in Clemson stuff. What's going on there?
I am. Yeah, I'm going to the Clemson game tomorrow. So just trying out some clothes, make sure I look good.
Yeah, they got that classic ACC matchup with Stanford tomorrow.
Right. Just,
Yeah.
The birth of a new rivalry.
Yeah, nothing says Atlantic Coast like California.
That's right. Like Stanford, Cal, you know.
Absolutely.
Unbelievable. All right, what do you so what are your thoughts on I'm going over what are your thoughts on the conference realignment? Is this the right thing? I mean, to have all these teams out here from the West Coast over here in the ACC?
No, I think it's dumb. And I would hate it if you were a volleyball player or somebody that's not a major football program that gets completely, flown private and treated like gold all the way. That would be horrible. I think it's the dumbest thing you could ever think of. Plus, we've lost so many good rivalries. So many good games are just kind of going by the wayside, and decades of tradition gone. It's brutal.
Even with Oklahoma joining the SEC, now you don't have the Oklahoma State bedlam anymore.
Absolutely,
it's ridiculous.
That game is pure hate. That's just
Yeah.
pure hate there, and it's gone.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we should realign again. I've got a whole plan put together. I'll tell you about it someday. I got a whole plan of how the conferences should be aligned. I got it all written out.
I think it's coming. I really can't imagine them sticking with this very long. I don't know how it's going to come back, but I think it's going to revert back to something that's a little more in line. I mean, even professional sports, they align themselves within divisions that are somewhat related to the geography of the teams.
Right.
I mean, every pro sport does that.
Yeah. Geography has to be part of a conference, in my opinion.
It has to.
It's ridiculous. All right, so we're gonna fix that. We'll worry about that next time. We'll come back with a plan on that. But today, I've got my brother Caleb in here. We're talking this weekend, tomorrow, Saturday, big games on the schedule. But before we get there, we had a couple of games this past weekend. Actually, this week we've had some news. The whole UNLV quarterback situation. Explain that to me, because I just kind of saw like the headlines. I didn't really see the details of it. What do you know about that?
So what I saw was the quarterback said he was owed $100,000 based on a verbal agreement that the offensive coordinator gave him, and he told them he would leave before his red shirt expired if he didn't get the $100,000. They gave him 12, and so he said, "Adios. I'm not going to burn my red shirt." So
Wow.
on the kid's side, he said, "Well, that's why I came here." And he's playing great, so he's probably thinking he's got all kind of upside next year, right? To go to the Big Ten or go to the SEC. He claims he had up to $500,000 offered from an SEC school. Now he's claiming this. There's no way to prove it.
Yeah.
But then on the UNLV side, they said, "Well, we never sent you a written contract, and the offensive coordinator is not allowed to make the deal, so we don't know what you were thinking." So what a mess!
Gosh, that is a mess. If you're sorry for the kid and for his parents who were like, "We thought he was going to get this money. We told him he's got to get the money.
Yeah.
That was part of the deal. Now he didn't get it, and so he's not going to keep playing." But at the same time, you just wonder about the real details of that, and what does it take for somebody to 3 games into an undefeated season to say,
"Yeah,
I'm not going to play anymore."
That's hard. Who's at fault for that, do you think? Who's more at fault?
There's got to be. I'm going to default to the school first and say that's their fault to not have this stuff ironed out ahead of time. If this kid was confused about what was going on, I think that's on the school to make sure that he understands what's going on. I mean, when I was a 19, 20-year-old kid in college, I didn't know what I was doing, what was going on, and so I think it's on the school to make sure that stuff is clear. Now, if it was clear and they're just kind of spitballing this and making this up and trying to get more money, well, that's on the kid and his family. But
yeah, true.
I feel like we don't know enough information about it. It's like he said, she said, but it is a really wacky situation.
It comes back to the NCAA needs some rules. They've got to have rules like the NFL, because at some point there's kids that are going to go to schools like that, like UNLV, and they're going to play really good for 3 games and realize they're probably not going to play in the NFL, but they could pull like 500,000 to $1 million next year to go to an SEC program. That could, I mean, that's big money. That's
That's
big money when you
life-changing
know,
money. Yeah.
yeah, when you're not going to the NFL, that's it. And so I think you'll see kids just directly breaching contract if there's no rules in place. The reason why it doesn't happen in the NFL is because, you know, they got a governing body.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, in some ways you can't blame them. I mean, you're going to turn down $800,000 to
Right.
play at UNLV. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, that's a great point. This has got to have some rules to it, because it is kind of like the Wild West. We're kind of just figuring it out as we go. I'm like, we really can't do that with this kind of stuff. We really got to
No.
have it all buttoned up, and do it right. And I think, certainly there are schools that are doing it right. I think Tennessee is leading the way in NIL, really doing a tremendous job. They've got a great collective, and they got the Vol Club. They got a lot of schools are doing it right. Dabo's got his approach to NIL and to everything in the portal. I mean, I think it's a wild time. I just wonder if we won't look back on this 10 years and be like, what were we doing? Well, why didn't we have this figured out? And what will the game look like 10 years from now?
Yeah, I think we will, for sure.
Yeah. Other big thing was we were going to talk about was Army.
Army. How about Army? How about them? Yes.
Caleb is a proud West Point graduate, went to
Yes.
West Point, go Army, beat Navy. And
that's right. Beat them.
They beat the snot out of Temple last night on a Friday night game, or a Thursday night game. So pretty cool. What did you see in that that you liked in the Army game?
Well, the first thing I'll tell you is the opponents that we've played this year have been the Red Hawks, the Owls, and the Owls. So if your mascot is a bird, forget it. We got you. Okay.
Army's
Any bird,
coming
we've
for
got
you.
it. Army's got the birds covered. I promise. But
how many owls are there? There's that many owl teams?
I don't know, but we caught 3 of them in 3 weeks.
Who scheduled it? Somebody, whoever did the scheduling, that was like a prank. We're just going to schedule all birds. That's it.
Yeah, Angry Birds, man. I'm telling you.
That's incredible.
Yeah, it was brutal. But Army, man, they execute. I tell you what, they execute. They don't have the most talented kids, but they also don't have bad athletes, though. I mean, you watch, especially on defense, that was always the thing with Army. They had this offense that was funky, but then on defense, they'd get exposed athletically. No, not anymore. Not in the conference they're in. Their athletes are right there, nose to nose, which is it's impressive. I'm impressed, especially when you consider Army. There's no NIL, and there is a transfer portal. It's out. There's no transfer in. There's just transfer out. So, I mean, to be 4-0, I'm pretty excited.
It's awesome. So if you decide you're going to leave Army, if you're a football player and you do this for a couple of years, you're like, I don't want to do this anymore. It's not as simple, is it, as a kid who's like goes to UNLV and is like, I'm going somewhere else. I want my money. Like, how do you get out? How do you leave West Point?
So you can leave before your junior year. Anybody, and that includes football players. And once you start your junior year, you're locked in to a commitment to the military. So we do have transfer portal guys that leave and potentially sign NIL deals after their sophomore season. Wow. But the thing with Army is they don't accept any incoming credits. None. You cannot transfer in. So if you burn a couple years of eligibility, your credits will transfer. And Army won't take you. The academy won't let you in. So there's really only the transfer portal is one way for all. That's for all the academies.
That's for Navy and Air Force too. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. But at the level they're playing at, it's not like there's a ton of kids transferring to Alabama. So, but still, I mean, that's a pretty significant challenge.
Yeah. I mean, I'd say most of the kids going to West Point, and they're going to play football, they're not going because of an NIL deal. They don't have NIL deals. They're going for a different reason. They're going because it's West Point, right? They're going because of other reasons that are taking them there. So I would imagine that even those transferring out, if you're talking about athletes, those transferring out to go somewhere else are few, I would think.
Yeah, that for sure. Yeah. I would say so. But I'm happy with it, man. They're executing great. That quarterback can actually throw the ball. This is one of the best passing quarterbacks we've had. I mean, as long as I can remember. And the offensive line actually can pass block. I mean, most years we can't pass block whatsoever. So yeah, I'm impressed, and the defense is great. So,
well, and yeah, they had over 400 and something yards rushing. Army did.
Did they really?
Over 400 yards
Woo!
rushing against Temple. And if you've got a quarterback at Army that can throw the ball now,
Yeah, watch out.
That makes them dangerous, man. You get that play action going, and all of a sudden, Army could be competing with some pretty big teams this year.
Yeah. There's talk about Army potentially being in a Group of 5 playoff conversation based on Army's schedule. I don't know. It's a long way to go there.
Right.
I don't know. We'll see. We had a good team last year and got beat 70-0 by LSU. I mean, it's just kind of a different level. But that was the LSU team that also had the Heisman Trophy winner. So that's
right.
That's that.
It's kind of a big deal.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm looking at the stats right now. Let me make sure I got this right. Yeah. Let's see. Okay, 417 yards rushing.
Woo.
Pretty darn good. Now Army held Temple to -5 yards rushing.
Are you serious?
Temple hinted their leading rusher had 4 carries for 8 yards, and then obviously some sacks and some backwards plays sent them into the negative. Temple averaged -0.2 yards per rush. It had -5 yards rushing, man.
No way.
Yeah. I mean,
well, I tell you what, Army, for the folks out there that like betting a little, Army is a cover monster. They've been cover monsters ever since Jeff Monken has been there, and they have covered the spread all 4 games this year. They are 4-0 against the spread and money line. So yeah, they are absolute monsters when it comes to
winning.
Always keep an eye on them.
Spread. That's awesome, man.
Absolutely.
I love it. It's so weird looking at the stat box here, and it says Temple passing yards 224, but total yards 219. Less total yards. I mean, that's so Army's got a defense too, man. It's Temple, I know, but I mean, that's pretty impressive, man. You going to go to any Army games?
I'm planning on going to Army Navy. That's probably the only one. I don't live close to West Point, so it's a long way to get up there. But I'll probably try to get to Army Navy.
Yeah, I think you should. All right, so you want to talk about the games this weekend?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, I've got some picks. Okay.
All right.
And I'm going to share them with you. And my brother, who is 10 years younger than me and not as smart, is going to tell me where I'm wrong, which won't be too hard, I don't think. So, all right, let's see if I can bring this up properly.
There we go.
Look at that.
30-13. It's not bad.
I am 30-13. Yeah, how great is that?
That's pretty good. Good.
That's pretty good. Okay, so this week's picks brought to you by Renaissance Bank. Mancuso's picks. That's Josh Mancuso. Caleb's not going to claim my picks probably. Let's go with the big one.
Right.
You know what? I kind of want to make this screen. I don't like the way we're looking here. Let me see if I can't fix this. Okay, let's just go back right here, and let's just talk about the games first, and then we'll bring the picks up. So, let's just go ahead and talk about the big one, Georgia and Alabama.
Yeah.
All right, so Georgia is at Alabama, and what do you think? Georgia's favored by a point, right?
I think so. It's pretty tight. It's pretty tight.
Going into Tuscaloosa, you think the Dogs can get it done? What are your thoughts?
I certainly think they can get it done. If anybody can get it done, it's them. It's Kirby Smart. They have a way of they show up in big games. I mean, his teams have. It's not the first time. It would not be the first time that they have looked shaky, and then in a big game they've really showed up. they've done that to Tennessee a couple times, so I know that. Um, so
Yes.
yeah, I think they show up. I think they play good. I don't hate either team on that. Really, it's a coin flip. That's an absolute coin flip. But I'm assuming you're taking Bama at home with the home crowd, and so I mean, I'm riding it.
That's it. All right. I'm taking Bama, I think, which I'm actually going to be at the Georgia game next weekend. So they're going to hate me for picking Bama right now. But I just think the home, the home crowd there, they're going to be ready. Uh, Bama kind of has Georgia's number, I feel like, and I don't see how that's going to change really right now. I kind of thought maybe it would with Saban leaving. Maybe there would be a little more of a rebuild, but they have not missed a beat, and they are rocking it, man. So I think my score prediction is 28-24, which doesn't really matter. But I think Alabama goes, protects their turf and beats the Dogs. Yeah.
Yeah, and you're correct. It's a 1-point spread in favor of Georgia. They're a 1-point favorite. So no, I think I like it. It's hard to win on the road in an environment like that, and Georgia hasn't looked very good this year. I mean, that Kentucky game, they stunk. Honestly, Kentucky's not good. Kentucky got smoked by South Carolina, and Georgia looked rough.
I know.
But again, I'm not talking crap about Georgia. I've seen Kirby Smart do that too many times where they've looked shaky, and then they put the thumping on somebody the next week. So
yeah. I almost wonder if it doesn't help them to have a game like that early on where they keep it close with a team they shouldn't, and they're like, whoa, we can't do that. We gotta step it up.
I know. I don't know if there's anybody better than Kirby Smart at leveraging stuff like that. Yeah. He's so good at that.
He is. Yeah, he's very smart. All right.
Aren't you a comedian?
I'm not really. Oklahoma State at Kansas State. Who wins that?
You've got Kansas State.
I do.
And I like it. Kansas State at home. I don't know. You got the Oklahoma State with the icons on the back of the helmets that they got told they can't use anymore for NIL funding. That was funny. But, yeah, I like Kansas State. I'll take Kansas State at home in that one.
I mean, we've come to having QR codes on the back of players' helmets. Was like some kind of GoFundMe, like
yeah.
Hey, I made a catch, give me some money. That's ridiculous. Okay, so yeah, I'm taking Kansas State over Oklahoma State. I keep betting, or I keep not betting, but I keep picking Kansas State to lose, and I picked them to lose last week to BYU. Got that upset. People were like, "We never picked Kansas State," and I'm like, "Yeah, because they lost to BYU. I picked that." But I'm going to give them this one, Oklahoma State. I think they got that running back, Ollie Gordon, the second. He's awesome, but they got no offensive line, it looks like. I mean, they can't – how do you have, like, the best running back probably in the country, but you don't have a line that's going to give him any space to run? Kansas State, yeah, I think they're going to win that. So,
yeah.
Nice Big 12 game there. All right, Louisville going to Notre Dame. Woo!
That's a big one.
Yeah, it's a big game, I think.
Definitely a big game. I like the Irish there at home. I do. I know we're picking all home guys right here quick, but I like the Irish there at home. I think they got a little wake-up call with NIU for sure. For sure.
Yeah. I mean, it happened. NIU is, I don't know if that was a fluke, if it was like, hey, they're actually pretty good. I don't know, because somebody, I don't know if it was the AP or the coaches, had them ranked there one week for that win over Notre Dame. I was like, I don't know about that.
Yeah, that seemed like a little inside job there, kind of. Like, what's going on?
That's an inside job.
But, the thing that's a little shaky, and I still like Notre Dame. I'm taking Notre Dame to win. They beat Texas A&M at home, and everyone was like, oh, they did it. Oh, wow. Like, they did it. Like,
right.
Man, come on. If you're an SEC team beating Texas A&M at home, that's like week in, week out. Like, there's like 7 teams in the SEC. If they lost to Texas A&M on the road, it would be like, is this a coach our guy? I don't know.
Right. They'd be questioning everything. Yeah.
Come on now. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay. A&M is another team that people have been ranking in the top 25, and I haven't yet because I have not seen that they are really that good. I like to put SEC teams up there when I can because I know they're the toughest conference, but I really I have not seen enough out of A&M to put them up there. They got to keep winning some games. Let's just skip to them while we're talking about it. First of all, Notre Dame, I got them 23-17 over Louisville. Louisville's got some crazy good athletes. Yeah. But I think at home, Notre Dame, they need this win. This is 2 evenly matched teams, I think, and the winner of this is going to get a leg up towards that playoff. So Yeah, I think the Irish. But let's skip to A&M since we were talking about them. Arkansas at A&M. I'm taking Arkansas. I'm giving it to them. I
Oof.
think
Oof.
they're a
Are you?
hard-nosed team, and this is, I guess, a bit of an upset. I don't know. I'm always trying to, you know, my boy Addison Nichols. He plays center for the Hogs. He was at Tennessee last year. He transferred, starting
Yep.
center. Love this kid, but I love their quarterback. He's a good young man. He's a good. He's talented. He's athletic. They got a great offensive line. They can run the ball. I don't know. I just think they go in there to College Station and get it done. I'm not sold on A&M's quarterback situation, and yeah. Sorry,
I tell you
Aggies.
one thing, Sam Pittman needs it.
He
He
does.
needs that win. He needs that win bad.
He does. Gonna have some cold beer afterwards, I'm sure.
Yeah,
If they win.
Sam Pittman's a guy you feel like of any of the coaches in the SEC, if you just like wanted to have a party, wanted to have a night with a guy. I mean, you gotta feel like Sam Pittman's up there, right?
Right. Yeah, if you're gonna go out and hang out and like have a couple beers with a coach,
Yeah.
let's say an SEC coach,
Yep.
who the top 4 coaches that you would pick to do that with, you got to say Sam Pittman's got to be
Sam Pittman's got to be in
number
there.
one.
Yeah,
Right, got to be
has
Sam Pittman.
Yeah.
Who else?
Billy Napier. I'm just kidding. I'm sorry, Billy.
Sorry, Billy. Yeah. I don't know.
Guys, a lot of these guys I honestly dislike. Man, a lot of
Heupel. I mean, I would pick Heupel. Yeah.
Would you pick Heupel?
I think he'd be fun to. I mean, I think you get him loosened up a little bit, hanging out. I think he'd be fun.
Heupel is the king of coach speak, like in press conferences.
Oh, yeah.
That guy's got he comes in, he's got 6 phrases, and literally he will not deviate off those phrases. And they are the most ridiculous coach phrases that you would never hear in any aspect of life ever again, other than Josh Heupel talking about football.
Right. It's the only time those phrases get used.
Oh, my God. We're going to do things at a high level. We're going to do things with high intensity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff.
I do think if you got out there with him one-on-one, he'd be hilarious.
Yeah, I think so. I think I've only met him one time, and it was in a relaxed situation environment. So, and he was cool. I think he'd be fun in that scenario.
I agree. I like him. I think he'd be fun.
Did you see him walking out with Morgan Wallen and Nico and Brew? That was great, man.
How electric was that place?
It was awesome. Yeah. Yeah. He pulled it off well, I think he was wearing shorts. That's the only thing I wouldn't recommend, just wearing some shorts and your cool walk out with Morgan Wallen. You know what? I'm going to wear some shorts. That's my first thought.
Yeah. He just want to show off the Heupel beach body, man.
That's right. Just showing those calves off, He's like, I want people to see my calves.
You never get to see him on the sidelines, though.
I know.
There you go.
Yeah. I'm surprised he didn't walk backwards to show those calves off. All right, so we're gonna hang out with Sam Pittman. I'm gonna throw in Josh Heupel. Who's that? What about Beamer? Shane Beamer? Would you want to hang out with Shane Beamer?
Beamer. I don't know, brother.
I don't know about Beamer.
Maybe get a drink with Beamer in one of those cabooses behind the Gamecock Stadium, then roll out.
Yeah. I could see that. What about Kiffin?
Okay, I think Kiffin would be interesting. That'd be very interesting. Yeah.
I think Sark would be interesting.
Sark, I forgot about Sark. That's new. Yeah, he would be Sark would be good. Sark would be really good. I would really sub in Steve Spurrier for really the 4th if I could. I would just say we're bringing back the ball coach, man. Head ball
bringing
coach.
Back the old ball coach.
Yeah.
Wow. All right.
Yeah.
We deviated, but we know for sure that if we have a chance to have a beer with the head coach of an SEC program, we are choosing Sam Pittman.
Yeah, it looks like he ended up being the top candidate without a question. It would be Sam Pittman.
He's the winner.
Yeah.
Beamer, maybe, but we wouldn't tell anybody.
Yeah, that's right.
Heupel, if it's the right situation.
Right. Heupel is not on camera.
Yeah, Sarkisian. I'll go with Sark if Matthew McConaughey comes too.
Okay. All right.
So that's it. Okay, good. All right. So I picked Arkansas 27-23 over at Texas A&M.
All right.
But you You disagree?
I do. I don't know. That game's a 5.5 point spread. A&M's home. I'm probably going to take A&M at home, but A&M lost their quarterback though, didn't they? No, that was a kid that went to Duke and got hurt. I'm mistaken.
Yes.
So
Yes.
yeah,
Yeah.
man, I'll ride with you on the Sam Pittman
Let's
train
go,
there. We
buddy.
got to ride the Sam Pittman train.
We
Woo!
choo choo. Ride the Sam
Yes,
Pittman
sir.
train. Let's go. All right. That's it.
Love
Good.
it.
All right. Here's an interesting matchup that when I picked this game, Oklahoma at Auburn,
Yeah,
I did not realize the injury situation that Oklahoma is facing. Like
with their
they got like 6 wide receivers out.
yeah,
And
yeah, yeah,
not that their passing game is what's going to win them the game because it's not. But my pick was Oklahoma goes to Auburn and upsets. I don't know if it's an upset, but beats Auburn
sure.
17-13 in a very low scoring affair because neither team seems to muster up much offense. I feel like Oklahoma, they're going to start this new kid at quarterback. Jackson Arnold's out. That's interesting. So I'm taking Oklahoma to go on the road and pick up the win against an Auburn team that seems to be searching for who they are, who their offense is. Their Hugh Freeze appears to be, by some would say, throwing his quarterbacks under the bus or just
Yeah,
not making excuses. I don't know. I just don't like what I'm seeing there. So I'm taking Oklahoma on the road there.
I love it. I'm taking Oklahoma on the road. I think it's going to be a blowout. Honestly,
Think so?
so the injury situation, it scares me a little bit, but
Sure.
that new quarterback they have at Oklahoma is strong. He's a
Pretty
really
good.
strong
Yeah.
player, and this is what I like about him. They have a beat up offensive line, and that kid can run around. When you've
Yeah.
got a bad offensive line, you got to have a guy that can move. He's got to be able to run around and move.
Yeah.
And if he can run around and get a couple big scramble plays, it'll slow down the pass rush a little bit because he can't
Yeah.
just come blitzing all out. He'll just run around them. And so their defense is phenomenal. I don't think Auburn's going to move the ball. Oklahoma's defense is quite stout. We saw that when they played Tennessee; they were really stout.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think I could see Oklahoma's defense scoring a couple times. Combined with, I think Auburn's about to fall into a complete free fall. I don't know what's going on with Hugh Freeze, but there is something that just doesn't pass a smell test going on there, right? It's something kind of funky going on. I think Oklahoma's got some serious challenges, but they're a solid team. I mean, they're a solid football team. They line up, they play hard, they hit you hard. They don't make crazy mistakes, especially with the new quarterback. So, yeah, I think they take care of business down there. And I think that the temperature is going to get hot in Auburn on the plains. Oof.
It's going to be a hot one after all this.
It's going to be a hot one for Hugh Freeze, brother.
All this, I mean, it's not looking good for Hugh. And I hate that because it seemed like a pretty good hire, a logical hire.
Yeah.
I think. And it's just something's not right. I'm with you. That something doesn't pass the smell test. Something is off. I don't know what it is. If it's internal, if it's player development, I have no idea. I have no clue. But something ain't right. I like it. Oklahoma goes to Auburn, and I got a 17-13. You're thinking it might be a bigger win, and I could see that. You're right about
I think it's 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, I can see it happening. I bet you're right. I think Oklahoma, they're going to get a fumble recovery for a touchdown or an interception for a touchdown. I think that absolutely happens. Yeah, and you think about Oklahoma's defense; they're being so good. They did stifle Tennessee's offense multiple times. I mean, they really handled it well, and that's a top 10, top 5 offense you've got. At Tennessee, and Oklahoma really did a number there. So Auburn's offense is way more anemic. I don't see how they're going to be able to. I don't even know if they'll get the 13 points that I'm projecting they're going to get. So.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, a lot of people said, "Oh, they shut down Tennessee's defense or offense because UT's offense throttled it back." And yeah, UT's offense throttled it back because they were concerned about the Oklahoma's big playability on defense, strip sacks, interceptions for touchdowns, all that stuff. That's why if he wasn't concerned, he would not have throttled it back. I'm sure Heupel wanted to punish Oklahoma more than anybody.
Oh, yeah.
So and that shows you the level of respect he had for that defense.
Absolutely. It's very cool. It's a cool it was a great game, and it was a great win for Tennessee.
It was.
So all right, you and I are 5 for 5
Are
together
we?
here. We are all. No, did you pick Georgia or Bama? Did you flip
I
a
just
coin?
said I went with Bama.
Okay, you went Bama too, right? Okay, so yeah, we're both on the same page here. Now this other, I've got Liberty and App State playing each other. That game's been canceled, I believe,
Yeah,
because of
yeah,
the flooding, and it is an absolute disaster in Boone, North Carolina right now.
it is. It
Streets
is.
full of
That's
water. It's awful. I hate it for those folks down there. That's rough. That's only about an hour from where I live, and yeah, I had Liberty winning 38-28 for what it's worth, but maybe they'll make that game up. I'm not sure what the plans are, but um, hate it for the folks there. Okay, another game here. We'll go to Colorado at Central Florida. I don't even know why I'm picking this one. I think it's because everybody wants to talk about Colorado, and nobody wants to talk about Colorado as much as Colorado wants to talk about Colorado. So if we want to talk about Colorado, I'm going to talk about how they're going to go to Orlando and get the crap kicked out of them by the Golden Knights of UCF. Uh, I got it 40-24. UCF wins.
wow.
UCF might score more than that. Colorado may not even score 24. I don't know what's going to happen. I think Colorado is all talk. I'm tired of hearing about Colorado. I'm tired of all the flashes. I'm tired of the Shadur's whole watch thing. This is a Fitbit. I got a Fitbit, Shadur. Look at this. Look at my Fitbit. All right, I'm tired of all this nonsense. And they, I remember it was a couple weeks ago, the Colorado State quarterback was talking all this smack about Colorado, which was dumb
Yeah,
also to be doing.
definitely
And then
dumb.
they got spanked. And then, Shador wouldn't shake that kid's hand after the game. I'm like, God, what, you guys are so immature. Like, just play
Brutal.
some football and quit trying to be, some hot shot. Like, just play the game. I just get annoyed at these big time personalities that want to talk smack, and they're not that good. Okay, you've got good talent, you've got good players there, but you're still Colorado football. You're still going to have a 6-6 season. That's just what's going to happen. Shador is a great athlete. He'll probably go to the draft. It's going to be great. Travis Hunter, Heisman Trophy candidate. He's amazing,
Yeah.
unbelievable. Would he be able to do what he's doing if he played in the SEC? No, I don't think so. But
You
he
don't think
is
so?
I don't think so, but he is an incredible athlete. He is
He is.
awesome. So that's my rant on Colorado. Colorado, by the way, you guys were went to Nebraska talking all the smack to their fans on the field, walking out there being like, "Yeah, we're here," and then got spanked by the Cornhuskers. So listen, Colorado State, they're talking trash to you guys, so you should just take it the way that Nebraska took it. The only difference is Nebraska won, you didn't. So hey, that's my rant.
I love it. What a big rant. That
It
was
was
huge.
that was a lot. I'm sorry. Forgive me.
That was huge. Oh man, I gotta ride the Buffs. I gotta ride the
Right,
Dion train.
after
Coach
all that.
Prime. I gotta ride Coach Prime. It's prime time. It's prime time. I don't think UCF's all that good. That's part of the reason why.
Yeah.
I don't think they're as good as Nebraska. They haven't really. They beat TCU by 1 point.
Yeah.
They beat Sam Houston and they beat New Hampshire. So
Right.
I'm not sold on them. And if you have a really good football team, you're going to beat Colorado to death. But if you're pretty close, they've got the best players on the field with Sanders and Travis Hunter. Those kids are head and shoulders above the other players in that caliber of football, and I think it puts them over the edge.
Yeah.
That's my pick. Now, again, if they were playing Oklahoma, yeah, forget it. No chance. But if they're playing a team that is close to them on the offensive and defensive line, those two kids and Sanders and Hunter are they're too tough to tame, and they'll end up winning.
Yeah. Okay. That's a good analysis and a good pick. Probably much better than mine and my big rant. After all that, I liked that you went Colorado. Finally, we disagreed on
Coach
one.
Prime.
Coach Prime, we're coming. We're coming. And they're coming to Orlando. I don't know. I think, was it Gus Malzahn down there at UCF? Is he still rocking?
Yeah, you might be
Pretty
right.
sure, yeah. I think I don't know. I think they're going to do it. All right, so that's a good pick. Sorry, Colorado. You guys are great. I'd love to visit. It'd be fantastic. I think Coach Sanders, Coach Prime, you're great. Okay, Dion. I used to watch Dion play when he played.
You
for
love
the Braves.
Dion.
Yeah, played for the Braves and the Falcons. That was good. Two-sport athlete in the professional ranks, major leagues and NFL. How do you do that? What?
I don't know.
All right. I'm just giving Colorado a hard time, but it was fun. I enjoyed it. All right, North Carolina at Duke. um,
Yeah,
North Carolina got beat by James Madison University
yeah,
70-50. How do you give up 70 points to James Madison? And if you told me that North Carolina would score 50 on James Madison, I would say, yeah, they did. And they probably won by 20 points. No, they lost by 20 points, gave up 70. What? So, anyways, I'm only picking this game because it's the rivalry of UNC and Duke. But I think Duke, they're both on. Duke's still undefeated still, so I think Duke remains undefeated to go to 4-0, 5-0, or whatever, beats UNC.
you think so? Oh man, I don't know what happened to UNC last week.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
Yeah.
So I live in North Carolina. I live about an hour and a half south of Chapel Hill.
Mm-hmm.
So NC grads everywhere. That was crazy. When I first saw the score, I was like, and then I generally was like, I feel terrible. Like if James Madison came into Neyland Stadium and put up 70,
Oh my gosh.
I mean, that's unfathomable. So I don't know. I I think honestly, I think UNC rebounds and pulls the upset this week.
Think
I
so?
do. I think when something like that happens, I mean, goodness gracious, that is just unbelievable.
When you get embarrassed like that, you either respond with you lie down and your season is over
Yeah,
and you can't bounce back, or you get pissed off and
yeah,
you say in the locker room, boys, that doesn't happen again. We
that's
don't
right.
let that
And
happen.
I think that's what Carolina's going to do. I think Carolina's going to come back and upset Duke this week. I really do.
Mac Brown is too good of a coach to let this
He's
kind of stuff
supposed to
happen.
be.
Yeah, I mean, supposedly, yeah.
So if you're UNC, where do you go from here with the Mac Brown situation? I mean, what's going on? How would you recruit at UNC now? Like, every other team is going straight to those recruits and being like, yeah, you really think Mac Brown's going to be there? You're going to go to UNC and he's going to end up leaving. He's 73 and they just gave up 70 points. Gave as many points as he is old.
1 point for every year that Mac Brown's been alive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think they got to move on from that. I don't see a path forward there.
I don't either. They're not winning. They were competitive last year because they had Drake May.
Sure. Yes.
Even with him, they still didn't win as many games as they should have. But I don't see a path forward with Mac Brown. I think they're going to, the answer I would say is to go get a younger coach, pick up, a Jamie Chadwell or somebody, if you can pull them away from Liberty or somewhere, get them into a big conference and make UNC super competitive. I mean, because they've got money, they've got a great school, they got everything you want there, I would imagine. So, yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
See you, Mac. It's over.
Sorry, Mac.
It's time to go play some golf.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, a couple more picks here. We got I'm going big right here. All right.
What is it?
Florida State at SMU, and I'm taking Florida State to upset SMU on the road, thinking Florida State at some point has got to pull it together after they beat a team last week. Could they beat, Nicholls State or somebody? I don't know.
Yeah, that they won a game.
They won a game. Congratulations. But I mean, I refuse to believe that a team with this much talent can be this bad and keep losing and keep losing. SMU's talented team.
They beat Cal.
SMU, yeah. Oh no. Florida State beat Cal. Yeah.
Yeah.
When Cal beat Auburn.
And Cal beat Auburn.
What does that mean? Nothing. It means nothing. But
Nothing.
I just feel like Florida State is going to turn a corner. They're not going to be, they're not going to win the rest of the games. But I think they're going to lose to Clemson. They're going to lose to Miami. They're going to they might lose to Florida. I think they got to pick up a few wins and try to salvage this thing. And I feel like maybe they go on the road 21-20 in a thriller at the end. Upset of the week, Florida State over SMU. Let's go. What do you think?
Well, I'll tell you this: no one is going to be watching it because it's in the same slot as Alabama, Georgia. I don't even think Florida State alums will be watching it at this point, as bad as they've looked. Maybe some people in Dallas will be tuned in.
Yeah, no, yeah. Florida State fans will be like, "We're watching Georgia and Alabama. What are you talking about?"
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know.
God.
I can't trust Florida State. I'm not watching that game, but I can't trust Florida State. I'd pick SMU
Yeah.
at home, but I mean,
You don't really need to know anything about football to pick SMU to win this game, really. I mean, if you're just
no.
a random guy on the street, you're like, "Who wins this game?" And they're like, "I heard that Florida State sucks this year, so I'm picking whoever they're playing." You
That's
know,
right.
that you just do that. But I'm feeling a little bit chancy this week. I'm feeling like my last 2 weeks of picks have been really good. All right, I went 11-1 2 weeks ago, and then 9-3 last week. So, I just want to just mix it up, see if I can't, pull
Well,
up
it's
some.
good that you're on Florida State side because we saw what happened to Herb Street when he went against Florida State. So, being the celebrity that you are, good choice.
Well, I got the South Carolina fans all over me a couple weeks ago when I made that video
Oh yeah,
with LSU saying LSU is going to come in here and rock their world, which they didn't.
and
LSU,
no,
LSU
they
won the
blew
game.
South Carolina blew that game.
They did, and the
God, they blew
referees
that game.
didn't help them either. Referees, I think,
No, they did not.
there was
That was one of the worst
balls there.
officiated games in a long time.
It was pretty bad. Yeah. I like South Carolina. I've always enjoyed going to their games, and they got great fans, great atmosphere, and I think the line in my video that really ticked them off is when I had LSU guy says to the South Carolina fan, "I know how badly you want to be elite, but it's just not going to happen. Like you're destined to be a mid SEC team. It's just the way it is." They got mad because they're like, I hate this because it's true. I know
It's true.
but
It's
I
so
hate
true. That's so true.
I mean, how do you rise up to the top tiers of the SEC if you've historically been kind of the mid-level team? The best years you ever had was under Spurrier. Even then, they couldn't really cross over. Um, and now you've got freaking Texas, Oklahoma, Tennessee, Alabama, Georgia, LSU. How are you gonna? I mean, there's only room for so many at the top.
I think this is the best chance you'll ever have. It's as easy as it's ever been because you have NIL money, transfer portal, and 12-team playoff. And
Yeah.
I think it's as easy or as easy as a road as you can have to go from that mid-level SEC to getting on top.
Yeah.
If you can bring in the right pieces, if you can get enough money in your collective to really compete, and then I mean, you can have a couple losses. I mean, there's some of those Spurrier teams that might have made the playoffs when they went 10-2 for a couple of years and had some big wins.
Yeah.
I mean, you could have seen a Spurrier team in the playoffs. So,
Yeah.
And then once you get a team like Spurrier's in the playoffs, who knows? So I think they've got a better chance now than they've ever had just because of the landscape. But
it's true.
Yeah, they've always been mid-level, man. That's hilarious.
I know. And they've had some athletes that Shane Beamer's, I think he'd actually be a fun coach to play for. I think he would, if you wanted to go to South Carolina, I think it'd be a good choice. They brought in
incredible fan base. I mean, one of the best fan bases in the country by far, especially compared to their actual production on the field over decades. But that place is full.
They're faithful. They're faithful. Yeah. They had Spencer Rattler. They brought him in from the portal. They got this Sellers kid now at quarterback. He's talented. They had the what's the Xavier Leggett? What's his name from the wide receiver last? I mean, they maybe they'll put it together. We'll see.
That's where else they got really unfortunate in that game. If that kid, their quarterback, doesn't roll his ankle, they couldn't move the ball as soon as he rolled his ankle. If he doesn't roll his ankle, I don't think that game's even close.
Yeah. Which is wild. I think I really thought LSU would be better than they are.
They should be.
They've got the talent. They got the NIL money. They got all the things. I think they have a good quarterback. I think
he's solid.
Pretty good.
Nussmeier's really solid.
Yeah. Okay, so 3 games left to pick here. Illinois at Penn State. My boy Todd Blackledge is calling this game. That's his alma mater there at Penn State.
Yeah.
Illinois, very cool to see Illinois playing good football, undefeated 4-0 with 1 or 2 ranked wins. Beat Nebraska, I think, last week. But Penn State, I was high on Penn State last year. I actually thought they would upset either Michigan or Ohio State. They didn't do it. They went 10-2, which is a great season. But they're dealing with the whole we're always going to be in third place, right? We're never going to get above Michigan, get above Ohio State. And now you got to deal with, USC and other teams coming in. So I think Penn State wins the game. 34-21 is the pick I've got there. I think they're too strong. And I like Drew Aller, their quarterback. I think he's solid. And their defense is good. So Nittany Lions.
Yeah, I like it. I like Penn State. I think for a team like Illinois, it normally takes a couple swings to go into a place like Happy Valley and win. You don't do that the first time you're coming up. It takes a couple. You got to experience that 3 or 4 times. I mean, look at even Tennessee with Josh Heupel. That's the very first big road game that they've won under Heupel. They've won some big ones at home, Alabama, blah blah. But it takes a couple of hacks at it to go on the road to a big time arena and win. And I think Illinois will probably get beat this week, but hopefully they're on the right path and they'll get some more cracks at it with Michigan and Ohio State in that conference. So
yeah,
I'm taking Nittany Lions on their first go though.
for sure. Yeah, I think that's great. Absolutely. Love it. All right. So last couple games, Washington State at Boise State. Oof. Picking this game because these two are kind of on the fringe there of the top 25. I've got Washington State in my top 25, which nobody cares about, but I care about it. And Boise State, they're on the edge there. They got this running back who's unbelievable, and I think he's going to be hard to stop. But Washington State's offense looks really good. I don't know. I'm thinking this just they outscore them, 41-34 kind of game, and the time runs out. Washington State's the last team to score, and there's no time left for Boise State to get at. So that's just my pick. It is an upset, I guess, technically. So give me the Cougs.
Blue turf. You can't argue against that blue turf, baby.
Yeah,
I'm taking the blue turf.
The Smurf turf.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
10 p.m. game, 10 p.m. kick. That's the one you kind of fall asleep to, in halftime, second quarter.
That's right.
Can't quite let the college football Saturday slip go, and you just slip off into a slumber as that game's going on.
There's still games on. I gotta keep going all the way.
That's exactly right.
You just glide from the last college football game late at night to the first NFL game. See if you can just not miss a beat.
Yeah. Well, when they play in London for the NFL, that's actually probable.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. I love it. All right. So you're taking the Broncos of Boise State to beat Washington State. Okay. Yeah. BYU at Baylor. I'm taking BYU 40-28. They look good. I don't know if you saw that kid had a punt return last week that was just phenomenal. Picked up a punt that he shouldn't have picked up, should have let it go. I think picked it up and took it to the house. It was phenomenal when they upset Kansas State. So I'm taking BYU to go to Baylor. Baylor's still a decently solid football team. I mean, but give me the BYU Cougars. Are the Cougars? It's a Cougar kind of Saturday. Washington State, BYU winning games. Not big game for all the big cats.
Big cats. Bad day for predatory birds. Big day for big cats.
That's right. The Owls are going down. The Cougars are going up. That's what's happening.
Absolutely. I like the Cougars, man. When those years when BYU is strong, they're scary. They're really scary. There's something they got going on out there because they play a brand of football that can beat you in a heartbeat. And it travels well. They're always very disciplined, good defenses. They control the ball. Love it. Yeah. They got a game style that travels really well on the road.
Yeah, absolutely. So you're taking BYU as well?
BYU, baby.
Those are my 12 picks. We'll do a quick bonus one because I'm going to the Clemson game. I didn't pick it because I only do 12 a week. And I think this one's going to be a blast. I try to only pick the games where the spread is like 10 or less, or if it's 2 ranked teams, even if the spread is bigger, like in Penn State, Illinois' case, the spread is pretty big, but there are 2 ranked teams, so it's worth picking. So, but Stanford going to Clemson, I think Clemson wins big. Stanford's got no chance of stopping Clemson's offense. I love those guys down there. I've gotten to know some of their players, Cade Klubnik and Tyler Brown and Troy Stellato and Barrett Carter, linebacker. I mean, it's just, I love it. Love that team. Love that culture. I love Dabo. I love the campus. I'm excited to be there and see Clemson probably beat the absolute snot out of Stanford, I would imagine. So, no, I don't have a score prediction. A lot to a little is what I'm thinking.
I'm with you. Poor Stanford's is struggling. They're coming all the way over here to Death Valley. Yeah, they're gonna get smoked. They're going to get absolutely smoked. We're big Clemson fans here, all of us, Honorable Mission Sports.
That's
Big
right.
fans of the Clemson program for sure. But even just looking on quick online, 90% chance of winning for Clemson. So, yeah, not just picking with your heart on that one. That's that's going to be a tough game for Stanford.
Listen, when you proposed to your now wife, you had about 90% chance she was going to say yes, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's probably on the high side.
It was probably more like 60 to 70, but she did say yes. So
yeah, she did.
That's all that matters. You just got to get the win. Doesn't matter how it happens. Yeah, Clemson. Can't wait to watch it.
It's exciting primetime game, huh?
Yeah, it's a 7:30 game. Again, no one's going to be watching it because they're all going to be watching Georgia and Alabama. But
yeah,
I'll be there.
You'll be watching it. That's right.
Watching. That's right. I have my phone out there, checking the scores, of course, of that game. And all right, we'll wrap it up here in a second. You got any NFL thoughts before we close the shop?
God, not a ton. It's just, the NFL is just so competitive. What a competitive league that is. And it's like every week somebody overreacts to something.
Yeah, I know.
But yeah, we'll see. I mean, we're from Tennessee. Titans are bad. Ooh, they are awful.
It's
absolutely
bad.
Awful. I live in North Carolina. Everyone thinks that the Panthers are going to the Super Bowl now. Everybody's texting me. I'm like, oh, yeah, what's your guys' playoff seed going to be? Now that you got Andy Dalton, he's older than Moses, had a good game. So that's been fun.
Andy Moses Dalton coming in, saving the day, parting the Red Sea with his red hair.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know. We'll see. The Cowboys don't look too good. I'll tell you that much. I'd be concerned if I'm a Dallas fan. Oof.
Yeah, I mean they beat the Giants last night on Thursday Night Football. Ooh, I mean the Giants are garbage, and Cowboys. The Giants stayed in it. Cowboys let them hang around. It was I don't know what's going on over there.
Yeah. What do you think about Aaron Rodgers and the Jets? Do you think the Jets are for real with Rodgers, or do you think that's just kind of like a media play?
Man, honestly, I think I think as long as Aaron Rodgers is playing football, he's got a chance. Like he's a winner, right? He's competitive. He likes to win.
Yeah.
I mean, that was a pretty significant injury he had last year. First game of the season. He's in his late 30s. A lot of guys would have been like, all right, that's all right. I tried. I did my whole career with the Packers. I moved to the Jets game one. I'm 38 years old or whatever it is. He injures his leg, ankle, I forgot what it was. And, a lot of guys would be like, well, that's good enough, good career. But he's like, no, I'm going to rehab this thing and coming back, and we're in it to win it. So he's coming back with, I mean, I love it. I like Aaron Rodgers. He's a lot of fun to watch. And I think they will improve as the season goes on. They're not a Super Bowl contender though. But
you don't think so?
I don't think so. No, I
think I don't either.
No, there's other teams out there that are better that would beat them. But it is cool to see them. What do you think? You like?
I'm with you. They're a lot better with Aaron Rodgers for sure. I think they're a playoff team with Aaron Rodgers. They're not better than the Bills. They're not better than the Chiefs. So
yeah,
I don't think they're sniffing let's go to a Super Bowl type stuff. But they're improved. They're an improved team. How about Kelsey? What do you think's going on with Kelsey? Are you buying into the he was out partying with Taylor all summer and now he can't play narrative, or just a couple bad games? What's going on?
I don't know. It's sure it's very possible that's what happened. Getting distracted.
I mean, that's a lifestyle distract you. I'll tell you that.
I mean, you're gonna start dating the biggest pop star in the world, but you know what? He was dating her last year during their season. They won the Super Bowl.
True.
And so I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I mean, he just could be in a funk. He's he'll probably come back. I would think he'll be all right.
He'll be all right. I agree. I think he'll be okay. NFL players, they go through slings, especially guys that rely on passing or rely on a quarterback to throw them the ball. I mean, anybody that plays, their own little ESPN team on fantasy football knows.
Yeah.
You can have guys that have stinky weeks. So we'll see. I think he'll be fine. I think he'll be absolutely fine. I think it's kind of overreaction. Yeah. But it's fun. It's fun. It's fun to watch.
Yeah, it is. It is fun to watch. They got the Chiefs just keep finding a way to win, and they I think the referees help them out a little bit as well. It
Do
seems like.
you?
Yeah, that's what it seems like, but I don't know. I do think they at least Mahomes, he tends to complain when the calls don't go his way,
Sure.
and then when they do go his way, be like, "What are you talking about? It was totally fine." So I mean, I guess everybody does that. I don't know, but
I don't know. So speaking of officiating, I don't know if you saw last night. This was nuts. The spread on the Giants game and the Cowboys game was 5.5, and the Giants were down by 5, and Dallas went to kick a field goal with like a minute left, and the Dallas kicker missed it.
missed
It
it.
was his first ever miss from beyond 50 yards, and it did not cover the spread. Strange. I'm
That
not.
is strange.
I don't think he did. I do not think he did it on purpose because there was a legitimate chance that Dallas could have lost the game. They gave him the ball at almost to 50, maybe
Yeah,
at the 40, and there was a chance that Giants could have won the game. But God, that was crazy. And the
that's
game ends up the Giants end up covering the spread on that missed kick. Guy's first ever missed kick over 50 yards.
it's got to make you wonder. Like, does that ever happen, or has that ever happened?
It does. It does. The only thing, the
Right?
NFL is so, those players get paid so much money that there's just, I struggle to see where their incentive would be.
Yeah,
Where I see the incentive would be like, a kid at a small basketball school, like a mid-major basketball school,
yeah,
and they're a 19-point favorite.
yes,
That's where I could
right,
see that happening easily. But
yeah,
the NFL, you got so much money to throw it away in that. It would be kind of crazy. But
yeah.
there was also an NBA official that was completely blowing games for years and got caught. So it definitely happens.
Unbelievable.
Yeah,
And to think that one single official can have that much impact on a game, that it can affect the outcome of a game to that level, that says something. I mean, they
yeah,
do
it does
play a role in the game, and I think, I you were probably taught what I was taught growing up playing football is like, don't put yourself in a position where the referee's blown call is why you lose the game. You should have been up by two
right,
touchdowns to begin with, right? You should never be in a position where, oh, the referee messed it up. No, I mean, what about that drop pass? What about that fumble? There's other reasons why you lost that game,
right,
but the referees are a factor. I mean, for sure. And if things aren't going your way, and then you get a bad call, that could be the thing that sets you over and puts you in the loss column. So
for sure.
it's
And if
tough.
you're playing a team like the Chiefs, Kansas City
Yeah,
Chiefs, and you're playing against Alabama, and you get a couple really bad calls go your way, those are tough teams to beat already.
yeah,
Good luck beating a team like that with some
yeah.
calls not going your way.
That's right,
No question.
man. Uh, all right. Do you have a betting locks of the week? Do you want to mention those at all, or you want to wait till next week?
So we took Michigan -10. I like Michigan a lot at home. I think they've got a good thing going on there. They're hard to beat at home. They're really hard
Yeah,
to beat at home. And then we took the Rams +3.
yeah.
Rams are kind of, it's hard to tell. But I like the Rams. I like the Rams this week. The NFL is a tough slate. I really don't have a lot of faith in Chicago. Chicago is
Mm-mm.
just, they're not a good team. And 3 points, a lot of games in the NFL are covered by 3 points, right? So you got
Yeah,
the safety net of the field goal, take the points. I definitely like the
yeah.
Rams. I think they're a better team, better organization. So we shall see. But
I like that. I like that. Yeah. I think the Rams are, again, you don't always know what you're going to get, but they've got the talent, the coaching to do it, to make it happen when they when they turn it on. So hopefully they will do that. And the Bears are just not. Yeah, they're not playing top tier football, and I don't think they will be for a while. So
yeah, they're
good
struggling.
picks. Good picks. I like them.
Good deal.
All right, we're going to wrap it up. For those of you that have been watching, this is honorable mention sports. Please give us a follow on all the social media channels. We're on every channel, Twitch and everything. I don't even know what Twitch is, but we're there, and
We're there.
we're there, and YouTube and Instagram, all those places. Subscribe, and the website honorablementionsports.com. Go there, and we are a fan-supported sports media company where we take sports media and talk about sports and try to make it funny at the same time. Where comedy and sports collide. So feel free to subscribe, make a little donation there, help us out. It'd be great. We'll build this thing up, do some fun stuff. But we'll see Caleb back week to week. You never know. We might just pop on one random day and start talking ball. So
let's do it.
All right. Thanks for joining, buddy. See you.
We'll see you.